Hello again, everybody. Welcome to a very special playoff edition of EMU Women's Soccer Preview. I'm Chris Pizzoli, and I'm joined by head coach Scott Hall. And Scott, before we get on to the playoffs in Toledo, let's talk about that regular season. The most wins in a regular season by one of your teams since 2008. And in the MAC, it was your first 8-win year since 2003. And just talk about that, especially after the year you had last year.
Yeah, I mean, I really have to give a lot of credit to these players over the spring. They really made the commitment to come back and do the work. So as soon as the season ended, they got back into it and did the work, and it paid off. You know, I think nothing's ever easy. So this group, you know, kind of bared down over the spring. We played some tough games there to get ready, and they're seeing the fruits of those labors here in the fall.
Questions coming into the season, as we see the softball team behind us here. The questions coming into the season, goaltending, couple options you had available there really worked out, and also the offense. We didn't know how together the unit would be, but we've seen a lot of good things from both of those areas of your team.
Yeah, I think we're really starting to gel with both Megan McCabe and Jen Odell in goal. I mean, I think we are in very capable hands over the next 4 years. On the attack, you know, we've had some players step up from Bianca Rossi, Vitaggio, Kara Katai, Odie, Clarkey. I mean, we've got a lot of different options, which is nice to see. And again, I think we always kind of had that feeling that we had it. It's just finding, kind of gelling it together. So it's starting to come together.
And then the MAC tournament, of course, starts on Sunday. Quarterfinal game here at Scicluna against the number 6 seed University of Toledo. But of course, it's no ordinary number 6 team. It's a Toledo team, which of course won the MAC tournament in 2011.
Yeah, they're not going to give that trophy up very easily. I mean, you're probably talking 25, 26 kids on their roster have been in multiple, you know, MAC tournament games, and we have one. So I think this is an experience where we have to go in and we might be the higher seed, but we might be the underdog in this game. So I think for us, again, it's just getting back to basics and really focusing on how we can play and the things we can do to make this a game. And like I said, Toledo is no ordinary 6 seed. I mean, this is a good Toledo team, very well coached, and you know, we're going to be up for the task. We're gonna do everything we can to make their lives miserable. we're gonna come after them.
Let's add another layer to that now. You've already faced Toledo once this year, went into their field and beat them pretty handily, 3-0 on that hot start you had to the MAC season. Just talk about maybe Toledo comes in a little bit revenge-minded to this game. What does that play into this?
Well, I mean, it's the Mid-American Conference. On a given day, it doesn't really matter what the records are. It just boils down to, on that given day, what you can do. And we just have to focus on what we can, you know, our sharpness and our focus, and how we want to play. Toledo will come in, and nobody's going to roll over. I mean, they are going to be a tough team to play, and it's exciting. I mean, this is why you work so hard through the spring and through the fall to get to this point. We're going to enjoy it, and like I said, I mean, any team that you play at this time is going to be good.
In that game against Toledo, it was a very up-tempo style that you guys played. Is that the key to getting out to the win this time around, and what else do you see as the key in this one?
Well, I mean, we scored first in that game, and I think anytime you score first, you know, the other team has to chase the game a little bit. And I think Toledo in that game, we scored first. They had to chase the game a little bit, and that gives us an advantage. So same thing. I mean, if you can get that first goal, I mean, Toledo's going to compete for 90 minutes. They want to win the first ball, the second ball, the third ball. I mean, they are going to compete. So it really boils down to, you can break that nervousness and that pressure and try to break the ice by getting that first goal.
And then finally, you mentioned the quarterfinal game, sometimes in your mind the hardest one to get through. Just talk about why.
Because again, everybody's equal in this league, so nobody really has a clear-cut advantage. So quarterfinal game, whether, you know, you always feel a little more pressure when you're the highest seed, a little less pressure when you're a lower seed. So I mean, that probably is one of those things where you got to play the game. We got to step out on the field, get rid of that nervousness, and just go for it.
1999, the last time you guys won the MAC championship. Just talk about that year, what you remember, and what elements of your team you had back then are similar to what is going on this year.
Yeah, I mean, the 99 team probably had more seniors, and this team with one senior, we are very young, and that can be a good thing too, because maybe the pressure doesn't get to them like it would a sophomores or juniors. So you know, we're going to just kind of go after it. We're again focused on the things we can do. The 99 team, you know, had a lot to play for. As Paul Scicluna, who was killed in the car accident, you know, the year before, you know, that was kind of one of those factors that played into they weren't going to lose because of that. Here, you know, we've got to be focused on technique, and you know, it's a different game from 14 years ago. Has it been that long? I've been here for 14 years. It's just a different game. So we've got to focus on those things that we know that we do well, and we've got to be razor sharp on Sunday, and that's going to make the difference.
All right, Scott, well, you guys look ready. Hope you're ready, and we wish you luck. That's 1 o'clock, Scicluna Field, number 3 Eastern Michigan against number 6 Toledo in the 2012 Mid-American Conference Tournament quarterfinal. We'll see you then.